Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to the Four Corners Podcast right here on the Four Corners Network. I am one of your co-hosts, John Pun, sitting alongside the other co-host, my brother, my partner in crime, Chris Rex. How we doing today, Chris?
As we're always doing, we are excellent and improving here on the Four Corners Network. Today, we've got some topics. Originally, we had a few topics, and then some things unraveled today that we're going to get to later on in the show. But I hope all of you guys have enjoyed your new year. This is the second episode of the new year. And once again, I am here alongside John Pun in person. We are not doing it via Skype today. I guess we'll start off with some of the earlier news that happened in the week is the Shinsuke Nakamura Great Muta match. I think it was an excellent match. Great send-off for Muta. Mm-hmm. I like the finish. I'll let you explain the finish and the aftermath of the match.
Yeah, it was a great match. You know, it was a great retirement match for the Great Muta. I think Nakamura was probably the best person to have him go against. A dream match, you know.
And the fact that it was WWE a lot, you know.
First time ever, too, with them two.
Yeah.
Great send-off. So, you know, the ending of the match saw Shinsuke Nakamura, you know, the best way to put it, make out with the Great Muta and suck the mist out of the Muta's mouth to use it against him to ultimately, you know, hit the Kinshasa and win the match. So, you know, it was a great ending.
Understanding Japanese wrestling and how they are with the culture, samurai culture, and anime and all that. You mix all that in. I understood the finish.
Yeah,
you know. Most Americans probably would see it as how you describe it, which Pun didn't mean to describe it like as if he was making, but that's the best way to describe it to, I guess, our American audience.
Yeah.
Most Americans probably wouldn't understand that, but there were some post-match comments, huh?
With the Great Muta's, exactly. With the Great Muta's comments after the match, I think making out is a great way to explain it because, you know, in English, he goes backstage
in his exact words.
And he says, he's good, Shinsuke, good. But maybe he's queer. He's a faggot, maybe. Bye-bye, Shinsuke. Okay, thank you. Thank you, bye-bye. And then he just walks off. So, I mean, I don't know what was going through his head when he said it. I don't know if that spot was planned, you know.
I would hope that spot was planned.
Yeah, you know.
I mean, that is the finish of the match, you know. Like, I would hope the finish is planned, you know. But the way he was in the promo, now, we did see the promo on Reddit. Noah themselves edited the promo to take out the slurs, which I guess good. You know, I would say that's good on their part.
Yeah.
But you see Muta just sitting there like this, so nonchalant, like kind of like not giving a fuck. Mm-hmm. And then he says this, and I watched the promo today, and Pun seen my reaction to that. I was just like, no way, because I didn't think this really. I thought this was just somebody fucking around on the internet until I Googled it, and I was like, no, this shit fucking really happened. Like he really said this shit. Wow. Like, well, and that's his last promo. Like,
that's his last promo, his last match, and that's how he went out, calling Nakamura a faggot.
I mean, I'm blown away by this.
Word.
I don't know how to react to this. Like,
word.
I'm like, those are definitely a poor choice of words to use in today's.
For sure.
You know, this isn't the 80s and 90s anymore, where you can use that in a wrestling promo to kind of get heat or whatever.
Not even the 70s.
Like, oh man, oof. And you know what? I honestly, like, and I heard about it today. You know what I mean? So for me to hear about it Friday,
week later, almost a week later,
it's right? Like, whoa. Yeah. How did this kind of skate through the cracks? And if you Google it, all I Googled was Great Muta post. And that was it. And it just blew up on fucking Google. So yeah, I'm sure you guys can find. I found it on Reddit, on Reddit or Reddit, whatever it is. I don't really Reddit. That's where I found it. But to some more Japan news. Sasha Banks, now known as Mercedes Moné. All right.
Yeah.
Made her New Japan debut at Wrestle Kingdom 17 after Kairi Sane successfully defended her IWGP Women's Championship.
I gotta say, she looked good. Her new look is definitely good. It's it's different than what she did in WWE, and it shows a new side of her.
Yes, and I like she's now not the boss; she's the CEO. So it's kind of like a level up. You know what I mean?
Yep.
She's already got merch out. I mean, the second she debuted, Pro Wrestling Tees dropped a shitload of merch. I mean, she's got stickers, mugs, T-shirts.
She was ready though.
It was ready. I had good planning. Good planning on that.
I'm sure this wasn't a week or two in plan. I'm sure this was a long time.
I mean, this is Japan's biggest show. This is New Japan's biggest show.
She knew for a long time, so she had her merch get done.
The whole look ready. The whole look. Character ready.
Mm-hmm.
They will be. Kairi Sane will be defending the IWGP Women's Championship against Mercedes Moné February 18th, I believe, in San Jose, California, at their Battle in the Valley event. So right off the bat, she's in that New Japan women's title scene.
Yep.
And in her promo, she says that I'm going to be the CEO of the New Japan and Stardom women's division, and I hope to see more of her in Japan. Like, she's kind of more of a permanent stay than to see her do a couple shots and then leave.
Yeah.
I would like, because if this is like, my dream is to go to Japan too. So I can imagine like this is something she wants to do. Like, stay out here for a year or two. At least at least
three.
a year.
I think at least 3.
I'm giving a year because the culture shock to living out there, compared to living an American lifestyle.
Yeah.
Like, even when I would talk to Joel about when he would stay out in Japan for months on, and it's like, it's a different lifestyle. You can't do certain things you could do here, and so I would say at least a year, and to give it that full-time New Japan run for a year and see where that goes. Happy she's back. Bailey and Naomi were both in the crowd to support her. They showed them on camera, which shows that I mean there's definitely a sense of WWE having some sort of
okayness with that.
And working relationship in order for them to maybe if it's not even a relationship, but like I said, permission. And
I'm sure they didn't care about Naomi, but to show Bailey on their camera, I'm sure there had to be some okay.
And speaking of Wrestle Kingdom 17, it was one of the highest drawing event on their streaming service, the New Japan World. Over 94,000 views. 94,000, and we can honestly say that that's due to the rumors of Mercedes going over there. Okay, Kenny Omega returning to go against Will Ospreay. All right, you have Great Muta again on the card in one of his last matches. You can also Carl Anderson, the WWE, allowing Carl Anderson to defend the belt over there, and I mean all of that factored in. This is the first time all these promotions were kind of working together.
Much, yeah.
And not saying that they all work together, but in some way New Japan was able to pull off getting all these talents in. That is, I don't think people see that as a big deal as it really is. It really is a big deal. New Japan was able to pull this off.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, listen, we couldn't do it ourselves. New Japan can pull all these strings, because that just shows the respect that the wrestling world has for New Japan Pro Wrestling.
That's true too. But think about all the people that WWE did hire from New Japan.
Yeah. Besides
Nakamura, you had Kenta.
Yeah.
You have this guy right now. What's his name? Crap.
Well, they also had Kushida.
Yeah, Kushida.
They had Kushida. I mean, yeah. So there's always been, and they've always kind of had a relationship dating back to the 70s.
Yeah.
With Tiger Mask, and the touring. Hulk Hogan. They sent Hulk Hogan over. Hulk Hogan was really big in Japan. So there's always been that Japanese influence in WWE. And hats off to New Japan Pro Wrestling for being able to pull all these strings, man. Because no one else was able to do it.
Nope.
Talk about Forbidden Door. We said that when we first heard about Wrestle Kingdom. This was truly the Forbidden Door.
Yep.
It was busted open. It was kicked open, and that's power and respect there.
I think so.
Last week, we were actually filming this podcast right before this happened, and we were both kind of pissed about it because we were talking about Charlotte Flair and her coming back at Rumble, okay, to win the Rumble. Well, She comes back last Friday on SmackDown, comes back and beats Ronda Rousey for the championship.
Just like that.
Just like that.
Walks through the curtain, women's champion. Now, I had a feeling something like that was going to happen with her, and I was looking forward to it, but damn, they just threw it out there.
Yeah. I'm kind of pissed it happened before we did the podcast. After we did the podcast.
That did irritate me, too. That right after we filmed, we're watching it, and she comes back. You know.
That's... But I'm glad they took the title off of Ronda.
Yeah.
It really hasn't been a good run with her.
No.
It hasn't been spectacular. I don't think she's this draw anymore that WWE thinks she is now.
No, she's not.
I mean, yes, she still has the drawing power, but she's not that big hype anymore.
Not anymore.
The hype is gone, I feel.
Exactly. Now
especially how when she said the way she talks about wrestling and shit, something you're gonna turn wrestling fans off when you talk about fuck this fake shit, and when you even if you're trying to be a heel, it's like. But
you also got to think that's in the scripts too.
That's what I'm saying. Even if it's kind of like it kind of does turn because when I see shit like that, it's kind of like, all right, you didn't have to go that like like it's.
But you got she's also following. A lot of it now is not, you go out there and say what you want.
Yeah.
They are following their scripts. So maybe it is the higher ups fucking, just burying Ronda in their own way.
I mean, I get it that she's on MMA but the way she does it, it comes off like really.
Yeah. It comes off like she's.
Like that's how she really feels.
Yeah.
That's how it comes off.
Yeah.
And maybe she's just a good worker. I don't know when it comes to promos. I don't know. I mean, if you don't feel it, I guess it's not a good. I feel that way. If I don't feel the promo,
her promos ain't that great in my opinion.
So
I'd rather watch Charlotte Flair cut a 10-minute promo than Ronda Rousey. So I mean,
I don't know, but I do like that they took the title off of Ronda, but to do it to Flair like right then and there, I don't.
Yeah, I didn't think that should have been the way it was done.
Yeah,
her return.
It was a surprise. Yes, I get that ratings, but I think it, that could have been a money match, for a pay-per-view for Raw.
I mean, they are going to do the match, probably
but,
Royal Rumble or Elimination Chamber, but could have been done a butt smoother.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Next up, we have Seth Rollins got injured. I don't know if it was at Raw or a house show. I found it in the middle of the week. I found a video of it. But apparently he got injured. It was against Austin Theory. I don't know where he got injured. I just seen them calling for the X, and Corey Graves seemed really concerned. I mean, to the point where he was running and screaming at the ref because apparently the ref didn't throw up the X or something like that. And Corey Graves is like rushing to get him medical attention. So I hope Rollins is all right. I mean, that would be the third injury in the week.
Yeah, and big name
during about to hit Royal Rumble, about to hit WrestleMania season.
Yeah.
We could lose Seth Rollins and AJ Styles both in WrestleMania season.
That's crazy.
And
we know they're workhorses, but sometimes you got to calm down.
Sometimes it's not even. It can be little things, accidentally, miss, your footing's off on something. Boom. It happens, but it's just bad timing for it to happen.
Yep.
We're here in January. We're a few weeks away from Rumble.
Exactly. Yeah, that's crazy.
Now, big news. Big news here. That was originally just small news that I thought was going to be small news until shit happened throughout the day. Vince McMahon returning to WWE started off as a rumor that we talked about a couple weeks ago. Idea that we floated around, and then boom, here it is. No, and as of today, it's official. He is back on the board of directors. And the reasoning for him coming back is to handle the sales for WWE as far as the digital sales, the media sales, as far as television, as well as the sale of the company. There were things that's going on throughout the day. It's been a crazy 24 hours for WWE.
Yeah.
As soon as Vince McMahon was appointed his position on the board of directors back. 2 members of the board of directors left. They resigned. So yeah. So around what was it 3 o'clock they had 3:30 they had a meeting, an employee meeting. No talent. Talent was told not to come. It did not involve them apparently. And the overall thing was to talk about Vince coming back and and pretty much to try to boost morale about Vince coming back. And that the number one priority over selling the television product is the sale of the company, and that is the most lucrative option, and that's the option they're looking for. So pretty much they're looking for the most money. And what company did you bring up when we were just shooting the shit about it?
Disney.
And it's funny you said that because I believe on Wrestling with a Bear a year ago I had mentioned Disney buying WWE or NBC.
NBC now with the Peacock going on, I can see that being possible.
For this is like shaking up. This shakes up everything, man, because
it does.
They made it clear that the main priority over television sales and product sales and going into other markets is selling the company.
What does that do for the company?
Yeah,
it's
and then they told them that to assume that this won't happen, but this is an option. So pretty much it's like don't think it's happening, but don't think it's not gonna happen. It's like they're on the fence about it now. I guess it's with Vince coming back, it's crazy. It's kind of like a takeover because he said the only way he comes back, the only way any sales happen is if he comes back
on the board.
And they took him back.
That is insane, man. Vince McMahon is holding on by any means necessary.
That's what it seems like, and it's kind of like, listen, if I'm gonna sell I'm gonna be the one, and that was also mentioned in the meeting that anything pertaining to sale of the company or a sale of television product going into new markets is ended with him. He has the final say on everything. So, yeah, I mean, potentially he could hold the company hostage.
But you got to think, this is his baby for how many years, man? He's worked his life.
But think about it. You got kind of pushed out your company. You're Vince McMahon. You got pushed out your company. Mm-hmm. And now there's a way back in. And now you can fuck everybody.
For Vince McMahon, there's always a way back in.
There we go. It's vengeance. It's my vengeance.
Exactly.
How are you going to fuck him, bro? I'm just going to sell the fucking company. I'm going to get my power back.
I'm going to get my money.
I'm going to get my money. I'm going to sell to the highest bidder.
I'm going to go bathe with my money.
I'll find another fucking employee to fuck with and take them off. And take them out. But what did, you can't forget the allegations on him, though. You can't forget.
He's trying to make you forget.
I mean, just because nothing really came of it doesn't mean that it didn't happen.
But he's trying to make you forget with all this shit. Think about it. That's all people are talking about now.
And you know what this reminds?
They're not talking about the allegations.
You know what this brings? It worked. You know what this brings me to his last promo in WWE when he said, "Then, now, forever." And then
we'll be gone. He'll still be running the shit, bro. Right?
So yeah, we're probably gonna get some more details throughout the weekend and throughout the week.
Yeah, we probably will.
Because this is definitely not over. It's definitely, there's going to be more to come out about this and more that happened in the meeting that wasn't already released. And apparently and Vince will not be having any duties as far as on screen or writing or anything to do with the product. It's potentially, it's just the sales.
Yeah. And he wants that money.
Why else do you go into sales? To make fucking money, right?
Leave him alone, man. He wants his money. He worked hard for that money.
I work hard for the money. We got some other news that broke out. Money in the Bank this year will be coming to London's O2 Arena.
Yeah.
We had talked about more pay-per-views coming to other countries, and here we go. It's happening.
Yeah.
It's great. It's starting to get that international exposure. It feels like, again, I liked when the 80s, where it really felt global because they would go overseas all the time and things like that. Now we got pay-per-views that are going overseas. Before it was just Insurrection and shit like that.
Or they have those week tours.
Yeah, so now they get a big pay-per-view. After Clash at the Castle, that was a success for them. So this is great going into that. We're gonna touch up on William Regal now is officially assuming his roles at tonight's WWE. Yes, this is pre-filmed on Friday. So at tonight's WWE SmackDown, he is assuming his roles at which is his official title still isn't clear.
It's not pre-taped. SmackDown's live tonight.
No, us. We're pre-taped. But no, his role still isn't clear on what his role, but it is a backstage duty, and he's going back to whatever this role is that he's going to be doing. He's going to it tonight and starting tonight. I guess we'll have to see what that role is.
It's probably still that producer mentality type of stuff.
Now he's going to be working with the main roster, not NXT, so it's definitely something different. If he isn't a producer, writing role or something, it'll be nice to take what he did in NXT and kind of put that in with either SmackDown, I guess, or if he's doing both SmackDown and Raw. Again, it's still unclear what his duties are exactly. Last week we closed out the show with starting our WrestleMania fantasy booking.
Okay.
And we kind of have to switch things up, don't we?
Yeah, because what do we have here?
All right, what we had set in stone.
No, not really, because we only worked on Raw.
Yeah.
So, and then with Charlotte coming back on SmackDown, we really didn't have her booked in anything. We didn't work on SmackDown.
Okay, so I guess we'll just pick it up with SmackDown, but to review what we did write down. Ray versus Dom. That match definitely is definitely happening now.
Yeah.
We're leading to that. Rock versus Roman Cody versus Roman for night 1. Rock versus Roman for night 2. I think it's gonna be switched night 1, night 2. But I don't know about Rock now.
Yeah.
Because we're heading into WrestleMania season now, and the buzz has died down.
I think we'll see after the Rumble more with how that would go.
I definitely think Cody and Roman, though. Definitely. We're just touching up on last week. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus the Usos.
Kevin Zayn. Then we got Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
Which I think will happen.
I think that's going to happen.
Rollins in theory.
There's been these little plots. You've been seeing these little things on Raw with Hurt Business. So I think that might have something to do with it.
We got Dexter Lumis and Johnny Gargano versus Miz and Bronson Reed.
Yep, we got Bronson Reed back, and
we have On Ice Orton and Cena. On Ice,
yeah.
Just
Cena had his match last week, teaming with Kevin Owens to take on Sami Zayn and Roman Reigns.
So a nice retirement match, Randy Orton is getting to that point. John Cena, 20 years, it's time to send him on his way.
Yeah.
Then we have.
we hear Cena on everything now. I hear every car commercial I hear in the car. He's everything. Every commercial.
Everything. Belair, Becky Lynch, and Bayley.
Yeah.
A triple threat for the Raw Women's Championship. We see the breakup of the Street Profits.
I think that happens.
Montez Ford versus Angelo Dawkins.
I think something has to happen at the Rumble.
Yep.
One of them eliminates the other, or something like that.
So that's what we have so far.
Yep, that's where we broke off. Now I guess we'll get into the SmackDown side of things.
So now that Charlotte Flair is SmackDown's Women's Champion, let's start with her, because I doubt she's gonna lose it that quickly before we even get to Mania.
No, I don't see. I think she goes into Mania.
Yeah, exactly. Well, why put it on her to take it off of her in a couple of weeks?
Yeah.
So, to me, that don't make sense. But it's gonna have to be Ronda or Shayna Baszler.
I would rather Shayna.
I would rather Shayna, but what if they do like a triple threat also, like the way we're thinking for Raw? What if they do something like that for SmackDown also?
I mean, they could, but then you'd break up Ronda and Shayna.
No, it would be a triple threat match. It's not like we haven't seen triple threat matches like that before.
That's true. But, I mean, one of them needs to win, right? One of them wants to win. So eventually there's going to be some type of breakdown.
Mm-hmm. But I can see that.
All right, so let's throw in that triple threat. Let's throw that
Charlotte, Ronda, Shayna.
All right, we have the Intercontinental title. We have Gunther. What are we going to do with Gunther?
Because I think he's going to, I said last week, I think he's going to be in Elimination Chamber. So after he wins that, where does that leave him? The only real thing I see is Braun Strowman. But we already saw that when Braun Strowman came back. Well, he never really got the title match.
No.
So maybe something happens where Braun somehow loses an Elimination Chamber. That would lead into Mania. But I have a feeling Gunther's going to defend in the Chamber. I have a feeling. Because it's not going to be Roman. Roman's not going to be in the Chamber. I don't see that happening. I really don't.
So Gunther and Strowman.
For now, I think Gunther and Strowman.
All right. We have the other titles pretty much squared away there.
And we never talked about Judgment Day. Finn Balor, Damian Priest.
They got that feud with fucking AJ and
we got Rhea Ripley.
I think they should finally do fucking.
What if Rhea fights Charlotte somehow? There's supposed to be a draft going on, and I think that's after Mania.
I don't know.
That's going to be interesting.
I mean, maybe I thought they would do like Judgment Day versus Mia Yim and do that match.
With AJ being hurt now.
Exactly.
Seth being hurt. That's going to change a lot of plans that they may have.
Yeah.
With two big names out.
And like, what would they do with Seth at Mania this year?
I thought Seth was going to be in some kind of title hunt.
Well, isn't he the U.S. champion?
No, right now Theory is the champion.
Oh yeah, Theory.
But I thought he would have been in the main title hunt by Mania. I really thought.
Maybe after Cody wins the belt at Mania,
That would be interesting to see too. Think about it. Seth Rollins just out of nowhere, makes a challenge, and Cody's not gonna say no. Right? He'll wrestle both nights. Do something spontaneous. I would do some crazy shit like that. Just Seth Rollins interrupting his celebration. Why don't you defend that tomorrow? At night 2. That would be crazy, And like I said, both titles are going to be split. Somehow, some way, the titles are going to be split. They're going to be 2 different titles on the line. So you can have that go on where Cody wins Roman for one of the titles, gets challenged by Seth, Roman's defending against The Rock, and then you have Cody defending against Seth Rollins on night 2.
That's crazy.
Right? That's crazy. But crazy. I would not mind some crazy shit like that happen.
Now that you got me thinking, what about these tag titles? They got to be split eventually too, right?
They do. So
what if it's this thing where, okay, now this whole Usos having the title thing starts to bite them in the ass because now they all have to defend their belts on both nights. Now it's starting to bite them in the ass. Now it's WrestleMania season, baby. Put up or shut up. Is the bloodline as strong as they say they are? Can they defend both nights?
I think in that case, then there's going to be multiple tag teams involved.
Yeah.
Because there's so many tag teams that we didn't even put on this list yet
because
that would need a spot. So, I mean, oh, man, that would be crazy for the Usos because you would have Otis and Chad Gable.
Yeah.
Right? You would have the Viking, whatever they.
But if they did this whole Hurt Business thing leading into Mania, you would have the Hurt Business.
Man.
I mean, you would have what's
the Judgment Day.
You would have Judgment Day. You'd have Legado del Fantasma.
The Good Brothers.
You have the good. I mean, it opens up the door for a bunch.
But
I think that's a good idea. Is to be like, okay, Bloodline's strong. Or now it's biting in your ass to have all these houses. Now we're gonna split these titles. You got to defend them both nights.
Man, that would be fucking dope.
And that ends the whole Bloodline fucking thing.
So we'll just put Usos defend both nights.
Yeah.
Because we can't guarantee
who is going to be.
Yeah, because all the tag teams. But Usos defend both nights. Defend both nights. For sure. For sure. That would make sense. If they're going to split up Roman's titles, they're going to split up. I can see Adam Pearce doing some kind of promo.
Exactly. Like I said, okay, now this is where it bites you in the ass.
All of you now got to defend Saturday and Sunday. That would be fucking dope.
And then as a heel, you're like, no, you can't do that. No, you want to be champions, you have to defend your belts.
That would be dope. I would like to see that.
Because technically the belts still are, you know what I mean? The tag team belts aren't, like, it's still Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, now it's time to defend those belts separately for WrestleMania. There's 2 nights of WrestleMania.
That would be dope.
2 defenses for you.
Yeah. Yep. And the way Adam Pearce is running things right now, I can see that in his character.
Yeah.
That would be dope. I like that.
Yeah. And I mean... And whatever, they have their battle royal and stuff like that. So
we're gonna have the Andre the Giant battle royal, and can't predict who's gonna be in that because whoever's in that usually doesn't have matches.
What is it? Don't they have like a women's thing that they do?
No, not yearly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not yearly.
But yeah, I mean, they have their battle royal, they have their pre-show matches and everything. So
yeah,
I mean,
there's
pretty much whoever we didn't book here, you could just I guess.
And we're gonna revisit this after the Rumble.
Yeah, because we'll probably get more of a solid foundation on how WrestleMania will start to look like. And
we'll know more with AJ and Seth's injuries, if they're gone that long.
Yeah.
So. And if there's
any more Bray Wyatt, what are we gonna do with Bray Wyatt at Mania?
I think Bray is gonna stay in this feud with LA Knight.
So Mania?
Possibly.
They're gonna have this blackout, this lights out match, and
because we don't even know what this match is gonna lead to, or if it's gonna be able to conclude the storyline. It's a gimmick
and
match.
then we have now this thing of Uncle Howdy now making an actual appearance, so, and attacking Bray Wyatt.
You think Bray versus Uncle Howdy? You think they'll do something like that? No, right?
I don't know. Honestly, I just don't know where they're going with this Bray thing anymore. Because then you have to factor in Alexa Bliss.
I think Uncle Howdy is going to be controlling Bray Wyatt. I think that's how this is going to go.
And then where does Alexa Bliss factor in? You know what I mean? Now, how does that? She's on Raw. Everything here is being done on SmackDown. Like, I don't know where the character's going now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I thought it was going to be this thing, like we said, where it was going to be introducing all these different.
That's why they made it
seems to be focusing on Uncle Howdy, and then just throwing in these teases of Alexa Bliss. But again, you don't see Uncle Howdy or Bray Wyatt saying anything about Alexa Bliss, or it's just these logos flashing that I guess possess her. I don't know.
That's going to be interesting to see how they do that.
But I guess that's where we'll end today.
Yep. I think that's good. More speculation.
Yeah. I guess we'll find out more about Vince. We'll find out more about Mania, Royal Rumble, what's going on in the next couple weeks. As always, I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning into the Four Corners podcast on the Four Corners Network. If you want to stay updated with everything we're doing here on the Four Corners Network, you can find it above both of our heads here at Four Corners Net. That's at Four Corners Net, the number 4. And if you want to find me, you can find me on all social media platforms at Rex Wrestles. That's REX Wrestles. Pun, let them know where they can find you.
Yeah, you got yours right today. All right, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter only, not all social medias. At John Pun, JON, no H, PUNN. Simple. There you go, guys.
Once again, on behalf of John Pun and myself, I'd like to thank each and every one of you for tuning in. As always, be excellent to each other and keep supporting
Pro Wrestling.